It was the first day of school for Jake's 8-year-old daughter, Lily, and he stood at the edge of the playground, clutching a brown paper lunch bag and a heart full of nerves. Jake wasn't like the other dads. His face carried deep scars that looked like lightning bolts frozen in skin, one slicing from his cheekbone to his neck, the other fading down his arm. His left leg was a prosthetic, polished to a shine, and his posture still held that unmistakable military discipline. The other parents whispered. Some stared. One mom pulled her son a little closer when Jake smiled politely. He pretended not to notice. He'd learned to swallow that kind of pain long ago, the kind that didn't bleed but cut deeper than shrapnel ever could. Lily ran up, her pigtails bouncing. "Love you, Daddy," she said, hugging his leg before running toward the school doors. Jake waved, trying to ignore the laughter from a group of dads nearby. "Man, look at that guy," one of them said under his breath. "Bet he tells war stories to feel important." Jake clenched his jaw. Not today, he thought. Not in front of Lily. He turned away, heading toward the parking lot when he heard a voice behind him. "Excuse me, Sergeant Matthews?" He froze. It was a woman's voice. Strong, steady, and familiar in tone, the kind that carried command even when spoken softly. Jake turned around. A tall woman in a crisp uniform stood there, sunglasses in hand, eyes fixed on him. She was probably in her mid-40s, her presence sharp and dignified, the kind of person who'd seen enough of life to know what real courage looked like. "Yes, ma'am?" Jake replied instinctively, straightening up. For a long second, she just stared, not at his scars, but at the faded tattoo on his right forearm, an eagle with outstretched wings, carrying a shield that read Echo Unit 21. Her breath hitched. She stepped closer. You were with Echo 21? Jake nodded slowly. "A lifetime ago, ma'am." The woman's hand trembled slightly. "I was your commanding officer's adjutant. General Harris. I'm Evelyn. Evelyn Monroe." Jake blinked, the name clicking into place like a missing puzzle piece. "General Harris's adjutant? You were the one who sent you boys into that valley," she finished quietly. "And who never forgave herself for what happened there." The air between them thickened with ghosts. Jake's smile faded. "We all knew the risks, ma'am." "But you saved them," she said, voice trembling now. "You dragged 3 soldiers out under fire. You lost your leg doing it." The other parents had gone silent. Every eye on the playground was suddenly on them. Evelyn's eyes shimmered. "They gave you a Purple Heart, didn't they?" Jake shrugged. "They gave me a medal. I buried it with my wife when she passed." The silence was heavy. Even the wind seemed to pause. The same group of men who'd mocked him earlier shifted uncomfortably. One of them cleared his throat, looking down at his shoes. Evelyn took a step closer. "Sergeant Matthews, if it means anything, the entire unit owes you their lives. Including my brother." He was Corporal Monroe. Jake froze. His eyes widened. "Monroe," he whispered. "Your brother was the one you carried 2 miles through the mud," she said softly. "He wrote me about you before he died. Said if I ever met a man named Jake Matthews, I should tell him he was the bravest man I'd ever know." Jake's throat tightened. He'd spent years trying to forget that night, the gunfire, the smoke, the screams. Now it came back in flashes, not as pain but as something else, gratitude, redemption. Evelyn extended her hand. "On behalf of my family, and the U.S. Army, thank you." For a moment, Jake didn't move. Then he took her hand, firm and steady. The parents who had mocked him earlier looked on, speechless. "Daddy!" Lily's voice broke through. She was running back, waving a paper she'd drawn, a picture of her and her dad, both smiling, standing in front of a rainbow. Evelyn knelt down. "You must be Lily." The girl nodded proudly. "That's my daddy. He's a hero." Evelyn's eyes softened. "Yes," she said. "Yes, he truly is." When they stood up, the same dad who'd laughed before walked over, awkward and red-faced. "Hey, man. I didn't know. Sorry for what I said." Jake looked at him for a moment, then offered a small smile. "It's okay. Most battles aren't fought where people can see them." The man nodded, humbled. As Jake turned to leave, Evelyn called out again. "Matthews, we're hosting a Veterans Memorial next month. We'd be honored if you and your daughter joined us." Jake hesitated, then smiled. "We'd like that, ma'am." As he and Lily walked away hand in hand, the sun broke through the clouds, warming the scarred side of his face. For years, those scars had felt like a reminder of what he'd lost. But today, they felt like proof of what he'd survived. And in that quiet, beautiful moment, Jake realized something he hadn't in a long time. Sometimes, kindness isn't loud. Sometimes it's a simple handshake, a thank you, or the way a stranger sees not your scars, but your story. Never judge someone by the battles they carry on their skin. Every scar has a story, and sometimes, those stories hold the strength that keeps the world standing.